All right, squad, what is going on? I always seem to have trouble with audio with these. I'm not sure why, so I'm just going to use my phone. Yeah, my computer just doesn't work as well as you would think it would, right? So we're going to talk about, well, it's going to be a Q&A for about half an hour. So we have till about 3:05, 3:10 to really cover this subject. So, excuse me, we can have people come on at any time. That is totally fine. Um, what's going on, Sagar? And so, again, I'm going to open this up, but I just wanted to start the No Limit live stream by talking about the multiple choice quiz that we just had, which was the tendons and how long it takes to really strengthen them. And so the answer is kind of annoying, isn't it? Really, 6 to 12 months to really have that integration just settle into your system. I mean, that just it's insane because we're just used to gains now, right? We go for a lift, we have the DOMs for two days, 48 hours roughly, and then we just rinse and repeat, and we just keep doing that. But for the tendons, it takes a lot longer. There, if you want a quick answer to like what does that do, think about Bruce Lee and Alexander Zass, right? There are strong guys that I've met over the years. I've been lifting for 16 years. Strong guys. I mean, some of them you might even think they were on steroids. Some of them might have been on steroids. It's not my place to ask. They cannot lift a 800 pound to 2,200 pound horse on their back. They're strong. They ain't that strong. You feel me? All right, that's tendon strength. Tendon strength does that. Okay. Bruce Lee, 135 pounds, was able to launch people across the living room. That's just 135-pound power does not do that. So when you continually train isometrics, now it depends on what type you do, yielding or overcoming, that's where you get freaky stuff like that. And you just don't see that often because nobody really trains like that. Does that make sense? So 6 to 12 months. So lock in, make sure you have the right program, okay? And and then you're going to see results like that. It just takes a while. So no to 3 to 4 weeks, no to 8 to 10 weeks. I'm looking at the quiz right here. 6 to 12 months. I know. I promise you, it is worth it. It is totally worth it. Um, Sagar, I'm so glad that you like the videos. Um, so I mentioned this on our members only Trisha, what's going on? Um, so I saw like four comments in a row from you, Trisha. I was like, oh yeah, she's really a fan. Yeah, more fans, more squad. Thank you, and I'm glad that your husband likes the channel. Love it. I really like to see these comments where it's like, dude, I thought this was bullshit, but this ends up like feel this is like the type of exercise my body needed. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, it's because nobody's really talking about this. It's really that sleeper. You want that sleeper build like Anatoly? Like, here, move over, man. I picked this up. And he like picks up 315. I've deaded 315. They can't all be fake weight. They're not all fake weights, guys. Like, wh- how? I don't know exactly what type of training he's doing. He might be doing OI, but he trains on the higher end of the force velocity curve. That's how he's able to do that, despite not being massive, right? So his power to weight ratio, these isometrics, especially OI, is amazing at developing insane power to weight ratio. So imagine how unfair it is if you were in combat sports, y'all both weigh 135, but you train OI, you're launching that dude. He never had a chance, man. If of course if the skills are equal and one trained OI. All right, I could get it. I could go on that for hours. But anyway, so I just wanted to cover that. I want to go over yielding too real quick because for OG squad members, you probably have noticed that this year has been a lot of yielding isometric videos, particularly bodyweight, because, and I've mentioned this a couple times already the last couple months. I want to lower the barrier of entry for fitness. calisthenics and yielding isometrics are like the lowest barrier to entry to get into fitness if you don't do anything, right? So that's why I've been, telling people like, hey, if you know someone that's been looking to get back into fitness, tell them about this channel, have them watch our videos that talk about 3 exercises to do this, 4 exercises to do that, 5 exercises to do this, 2 if you're over 40, 1 for blah blah blah. That's for blah blah blah. That's why I'm doing that, right? It's not clickbait because one, I actually deliver versus other content creators that just take like 8-9 minutes. You notice mine is like 4 to 5 minutes. I go right into it, and I give y'all a program. Let's go, let's go. Come on, come on. You know that's worth the sub. But I just want to make it so that people think that it has to be some grueling process. But all the muscles really care about is time under tension. Now, is the time under tension under the right load? Is the time under tension under 5 pounds, or is it under 40? What's going to give you the growth? The time under tension under the proper load. It doesn't matter if it's dynamic or static. It doesn't matter. All your body cares about is the time under tension under the right load. That's why some of the craziest workouts I've had were when I have isometric finishers at the end. Not even talking about wall sits. I'm just talking about, like, let's say I'm doing dumbbell shoulder press, right? So I'm on set 3. I had set 1 and set 2, just dynamic only, 3 sets of 10, right? Set 3, I finish at the end, at the top end, and just hold it. So I have like 70s over my head, just like literally shaking. That's time under tension. You can hold at the top end, mid, or bottom, and that's, you can do that on the isometrics as well. It doesn't matter. That's all your body cares about. It's raw gains. It's experience points in a video game, right? That's each second you're holding, that's more EXP that you're getting. I know I'm such a freaking nerd, but that's all your body cares about, right? So that's why I wanted to really focus on that. So I'm working on a video right now I thought I was going to get that done Friday. It's probably going to be Saturday, honestly. So we're going to start to incorporate a little bit of movement, but with static holds. So a lot of people understand this portion of isometrics where you're essentially, you're moving and then you add an isometric hold. So like, let's say you're just doing push-ups, right? And you hold it, boom, hold it, boom, hold it, right? So people know this is just holds, right? Bicep curl, hold it. Cool. It's just holds. This is isometric training. They've been doing it all along, right? It's just called holds in the lifting world, right? Or just, pause reps, essentially. So it's just holds or pause reps. They were doing isometric training the whole time. It's been in use. Dare I say something controversial? I don't think it's been used to its fullest potential. Because you can get some freaky gains with isometric holds. That's why it burns so much, guys. So that little piece right there is really all I wanted to say. Because remember, it's Q&A, so we have about 22 minutes. I do have to pack it up at 30 minutes on the dot. I'm going to bring the live stream up on my computer because I want to make sure that I'm getting questions answered. For some reason, it's weird on my phone. But my computer won't let me do it because it keeps muting me out. I don't know. I have to fix the microphone. So I'm going to bring it up now. Please ask away. And if I do not know the answer, and there's a chance I might not, I don't know everything, I will tell you, I will look into it for you. Since I'm bringing it up, view your channel. I'm live. I'm live watching me live. That's weird. I'm going to turn the volume down. That's annoying. Okay. Top chat. Okay, so I'm going to get into something I missed now. I saw Trisha's. Norman, hello from Germany. What's going on, Norman? Glad to help. Trisha said, we did our first 45-second sets for 3 different exercises. Brutal, but great, right? It's brutal, dude. It's brutal. These lifts burn, guys. They burn, and it's just raw growth. While we are getting the questions in, really think about it, guys. I will do my best to answer. I will tell you this. Let's talk about isometric hypertrophy for a second. So I've made two videos on isometric hypertrophy. One was probably the crappiest quality ever, but I was new to YouTube. The second one, I just got my DJI mic and I had it set on only one audio channel. So if you listen to that video, you can only hear it out of like one ear. I know it's terrible. So I have to do that again, but it's interesting. Both of those isometric hypertrophy videos have done very well. People are interested in it. Can you grow muscle while staying still? The answer is yes, because again, it only cares about time and attention. That's it. That's all the body cares about. Time and attention under the right load. Okay? Tomas says, I'm pretty sure I watched a video about a gymnast that said to do small pulses. I thought that said at an apple. At an angle to build super strength. Is that something that you do? I don't. I don't do pulses, but I mean that is a lot of tension and they suck. What that reminds me of is I think I've brought this up a couple live streams before, but dating myself here. Anyone remember Insanity? Sean T. He's the only man that I've truly cursed out in my entire life. That was one of the hardest freaking workouts I have ever done. My buddy and I did it back in 2012. Oh my God, the worst. We lost tons of body fat though, but it's not really for beginners. That has a higher barrier to entry. But I remember, oh my God, I think it was on month 2. Dude, guys, he had us do this freaking, all right, you're step lunging, well, hold on. Fitness influencer. Right? So, like you're step lunging, boom, and then he wants you to pulse it. And then after you're done pulsing, he'd be like, all right, hold it there, hold it, hold. And like he would go around like the gymnasium at the time. And then like people would be like, you could hear like the groans like, because they just smoked their entire body. So like there's so much tension here. Dude, there's no way you're not gonna grow. So I should make that a video. Everybody would hate me. Unsubscribe. This guy's a jerk. But it worked though. It really did. It worked. I don't think I would say pulses are super strength. I would probably give that the realm of overcoming isometrics because when you eliminate movement and you apply 100% force, you're working at the top end of the force velocity curve, and that's where you develop the most power gains, right? Excuse me. Pulses would be, depending on the load, it would be up there, but I wouldn't say super strength. So, of course, just my opinion. Always tell people on YouTube, take influencers' opinions with a grain of salt. If Bruce Lee, absorb what is useful, discard the rest. That applies to me too. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully, I know. I see when I don't edit, I tend to ramble. So, Trisha, question. Let me scroll this up. Question: after a hard workout, do you recommend the next workout be medium until you're used to more volume? I would say probably not. Let's say you had a hard workout on Monday, and you rest and recover. Let's say it's a full body, so you can't work full bodies every day because your body needs to recover from all the muscles. If you had a PPL split, some type of split, then yeah, you could. But let's just say it's a full body. You rest Tuesday, and here comes Wednesday. So now you rested for 48 hours. I don't see why not. Just make sure that the nutrition is adequate, that you hit your macros, and that you had enough sleep because sleep is where the recovery and repair happens. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. If you start to notice that you're moving a little slower, like maybe your body just needs a little bit more time, just kind of listen to your body if that makes sense. But you should be able to do that every other day, if that makes sense. Can you train exclusively with isometrics? Yes, it has to be programmed right though. Would I recommend this? I would say that isometrics is part of the bigger picture. It's kind of like people who lift, like think of bodybuilders. They need to stretch. Flexibility is a core component of fitness. You need to stretch. Everyone needs to stretch. Every single human being needs to stretch. Um, Cardio, the most important muscle in the body, is not the biceps, dude. It's the heart, man. The most important. We need to do cardio. That said, isometrics is part of that equation. It's so good at strengthening connective tissue. I think it should be used in conjunction with other methods of training. Again, just my opinion, but I would say yes, and that's coming from my own personal lifting over 16 years and my personal training for 9. I would say to do both. If you want now, coming back in full swing to your question, if you wanted to do isometrics, you can. If you wanted some movement, you can do cardio afterwards. If you went ISO only, I would probably throw a mix of OI and yielding so that you get strength and endurance. Well, you could go OI 6x6, but you're still not going to get as much endurance. So you can go for those hypertrophy holds too for the 20 to 45 seconds at about 60 to 80% of your maximum. That's really hard to figure out when you don't have some type of dynamometer or ISO max. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just telling you what it is. So if you have a way you can go buy a dynamometer online, so that way you can see your force readout. That's really important when you're throwing in isometrics. Other than that, then you have to go yielding so you can get your muscular endurance. That's really important. Tomas, make the video on the pulses. The pulses. I'm down for that. Judah, can isometrics help with bicep tendonitis? Yes, I actually made a video on that. What was that? 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? I don't know. My weeks are going together. But did you see the exercise where I was at the wall and I told you I went like this and pressed up against the wall like that? That hits right in here. I used to suffer from bicep tendonitis. I don't know why this exercise triggered me, but doing the cable crossovers really just triggered it. This was years ago. This was well before COVID, well before COVID. But the initial damage was done, so sometimes I would get flare-ups from training years ago, and that exercise helped. Throwing in static holds helped, and I just don't deal with that anymore. When the ISO chain dropped in 2020, because I had 3 major issues. Well, outside of awful glutes, which led to my lower back issues, but lower back was the first one. Crappy knees, which led to my piss poor quadricep size, which I'm still dealing with, and bicep tendonitis, and a corgi. He wants to do the isomax. There's a video right there. So when I started pulling on the ISO chain, it was not immediate. I mean, it's not a magic fix. But within about 6 to 8 weeks, and I posted this on the ISO chain Facebook page a couple years ago, it was gone and it has not returned. I think that's sick. Holding, you can hold the bicep curl for time, right? You can perform that exercise I was talking about in that video. But yes, they do. Isometrics are fantastic for any type of joint issue. Seriously. Norman says, doing an isometric hold, how many angles do I need? Honestly, really, Norman, you only need one. If you train in the middle, you're going to get angle spillover up to 15 degrees in either direction. So it just depends on what you want to work on. If you just want the most broad, like best of both worlds, just train here. If you just want even more time under tension, you can go 6 seconds here, 6 seconds here, 6 seconds here. Depends on what you're training for. Not overkill, but you can just train in the middle, the mid angle, and most of the issues will be taken care of. Uh, Glake, have you experimented with isometrics for wrist, forearm strength, or injury rehabilitation? Um, for wrist, forearm injury rehabilitation, no. For wrist, forearm strength, yes. Um, you want to go, buddy? Hold on 1 second. Okay. Go ahead. I'll be out. You can't ignore puppy dog, guys. It's just right to your soul. Got sidetracked. What did he say? Oh, wrist forearm strength. There is a gripper machine that I purchased a couple years ago. I brought it to my local gym. You could load plates on it. The maximum they can hold is barely 645-pound plates. So what I do is I just go on the gripper machine and crush, hold it for 3 seconds, release, slow release, crush, hold. 1, 2, release, crush, hold. 1, 2, 3, release. I found very good results from that. If you don't have access to that machine is like at least $500. Sometimes you can get it for cheaper on Marketplace. You can get the Captains of Crush grippers, which I've recommended many times on this channel. It's also in our Amazon No Limit store. I'd highly recommend those. Those are fantastic pieces of equipment. They are sturdy, they are durable, and they will last. I've had them for well over 5 years, and they are still going strong. They have a trainer thing as well, so I think it goes from like 40, 60, 80, and you have the Captains of Crush 1, 1.52, 2.53, and just work on it. Just hold it, try and hold it for time while it tries to fight you and unravel your hand. That is going to put a lot of strength on you because, again, time under tension. I can't speak for injury rehabilitation. Based off of what we know, I would say yes, but I have not used it personally, so I'm not going to give out false information. Sagar says, "Sir, should I do full body isometric exercises daily, or else what routine should I follow for a week for strength gain?" Depends. If you wanted to do full body isos daily, I just would I wouldn't do that. I would just do it every other day, honestly. The only type of isometric session I would do daily, and I was doing this for a long time and I had no issues with it, was I just did a 1x6, what's called a 1x6. So I would get on the isomax here and I would curl for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, release, write down the number, deadlift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, write down the number, release. Go shoulder press. 1, 2, 3. It's only 6 seconds. So that type of accumulation is not going to be a big deal over the span of 7 days. If I was doing a 6x6, I would have hit CNS fatigue with the quickness. And plus I still lift. So it had to be of balance, if that makes sense. I think I've mentioned this before. There's a video coming out in July. I just this week is the last week where I will have finished an entire program where only the upper body was worked isometrically. I did legs with weights, but only the upper body was isometrics, and I am very happy with the results. I did take a hit with muscular endurance, so this is a little extra, but I knew that was going to happen because I was focused on strength anyway. So yeah, just every other week, you really can't go wrong with that. If you have any questions on that, just let me know. Tomas, I ordered the ISO bar on Kickstarter because of me. Oh. Looking forward to building that sleeper build. Yeah, these sleeper builds. So there's this guy that came in. What's today? The 11th. What was it? Thursday? I think I was training my client, and he came in, and I should have known better, guys. I should have known better. He comes in, and I didn't see him do his warm-up set. I'm on rest time with my client before our next set, and this kid I would probably not put him past 155, and he's got 340 on the squat rack. So I'm like, either this kid works isos or he's about to get folded. It was bad. So my client was talking, and I was like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. We might see something great, you know? So he unracks and like he looks like mentally, like he looks ready to squat. I'm like, oh, hold on, hold on. Comes all the way down, not ass to grass, but below parallel. So it's not one of those quarter squats, below parallel squat. I'm like, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. Comes back up. Boom. Goes past parallel. Fails. Boom. I was like, whoa. He almost had that. He almost had that. Crazy power to weight ratio. He might be less than a month out from getting that. And he weighs less than I do. I'm 180. Like, that's incredible. That's incredible. So it's just, one of the things I love about isometric, it gives you that anime strength, that Saitama, like, what is this shrimp gonna do? Oh my God. Like, that's what overcoming ISO does. Not so much yielding, though. Not so much yielding. Yielding, I think, is perfect when performed correctly for the best muscular endurance you could ever build. And when you combine that with weights, you get some nice hypertrophy bonuses because remember, it's time and attention plus load. I am rambling. Do we have any more questions? I have 3 minutes. I do have to pack it up, but I just want to make sure that I answer your questions. I remember when I used to go on live. 3 people, and 3 was everything. 14 is still everything. I'll take it. I mean, I didn't normally like I'll let the squad know like, hey, I'm going live at 10 a.m. Saturday. This was kind of like last minute, but it's like, hey, you know, whoever joins. And people could watch the live stream afterwards, so I mean, it's cool. Info is info, as they say. Do people say that? I don't know. It just makes stuff up. In the meantime, I just got this this Garmin watch. So it's called the Garmin Forerunner 165, and I'm really excited because I can now see what happens with heart rate and blood pressure and VO2 max when doing a raw like 6x6 isometric session. So I'll be doing that tonight. I train clients until I think like 6:15. I might be till 7. I have to double check my schedule. And then it'll be my last chest, shoulder, tri, ISO only program of the month. And I'm interested. I mean, I know like we have the exercise science, so like we know, but Mighty said, oh, 2. Glakey. It might be Glakey, there's 2 E's. What was your most unexpected benefit from getting into isometrics? Oh my God, bro, the joint health? Yeah, that's why I purchased it. They were talking about like the strength gains and stuff back in 2020 because I got my ISO chain in October of 2020. And so I was reading through that book like a fiend, that PDF. Oh my God. And I still have the books too. Like this is such gold, guys. If you haven't read this, you really should. It is worth every penny. But like I was like, oh man, well at the time like I was just in a bad place. I had just massive imbalances and my knees really hurt. Remember, I couldn't even demo a lunge. And it helped, man. Like the elbow tendonitis, remember I was suffering from the biceps as well. Gone. Biggest benefit by far is how my joints feel. I'm like, why do I feel crippled at 30? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So that by far the biggest benefit. I've experienced strength gains as well. Hey man, commented a few days ago about results from advanced folks who are quite strong. Have they gotten better results with isomax than normal training for strength specifically? Yes, one of my biggest wins was my client actually just trained him today. He's 78 years old. His strength has tripled using the isomax. The doctor says he cannot do any overhead presses. From a motorcycle accident, his left rotator cuff is done. Like he can't lift his arm higher than this anyway with nothing, no weight, just nothing. This hand he can go all the way up, but it's like kind of iffy, not painful, just kind of iffy. So it's like, all right, well, we can still work the shoulders isometrically because again, what matters the load and the time and attention. And he went from around 40 pounds, so now he's averaging about like 110. Um, no problem, Norm. What video do you recommend for carpal tunnel? I have not made a video on that, but I will. I will make a video on that. Um, Money, no problem, no problem. The train, the train is still only just now leaving the station almost 5 years later. This is so much to talk about, like so much. Like if I could just make 5 videos a week, then maybe we would be done by now. But um, yeah, no problem, Lee. But young dude who's quite strong, like bare minimum. Yes, I have a client that is 31. Um, in 2021, we were on a isomax and weightlifting training session, and we got his deadlift all the way up to 500 pounds. It's one of my older shorts, like almost at the beginning of the channel, because 2021. It's the if you look for him, it's the bald guy with the goatee with the tats. Um, and I show like his deadlift. I show his actual deadlift. So yeah, definitely check that out. Like check out some of the older shorts, guys. Like you'll see some of my clients and like what they do in the weight room as well. So um, about 315 where he started. Is I got him up to 315 before the ISO chain drop. Um, Probably about 4 to 5 months, I would say. Probably about 4 to 5 is what I would say. So, all right, guys, got a dip. Love you. Appreciate your support. Thanks for being part of the squad. And yes, I do recommend creatine. All right, guys, take it easy.